There is a particular kind of standoff that happens when two people who care about each other both refuse to reach out first. There is a tension that builds when someone notices your silence, feels your absence, misses you desperately, but allows pride or fear or stubbornness to keep them from picking up the phone. This is a story about awareness without action, about knowing someone has pulled away but refusing to chase them, and about what gets lost in the space between noticing and caring enough to do something about it. Jasmine was 28 years old, and Damon was 29. They had been best friends since they were teenagers. The kind of friends who talked every day, who knew each other's secrets, who had been through everything together. They had supported each other through bad relationships, family problems, career struggles, and all the chaos that comes with growing up. Their friendship had been one of the most important relationships in both of their lives. But over the past year, Jasmine had started to feel like she was the only one putting in effort. It had been subtle at first. Damon would take longer to respond to her messages. He would cancel plans more frequently. He would forget important things she had told him about her life. When Jasmine brought up something exciting that happened to her, Damon would give short responses and quickly change the subject to talk about himself. When Jasmine was going through a difficult time at work, Damon barely asked her about it. But when he had problems, he expected Jasmine to drop everything and listen for hours. Jasmine had tried to tell herself that Damon was just busy, that he was going through his own things, that friendships go through phases. But the pattern continued and intensified. Jasmine realized that she was always the one initiating contact. She was always the one making plans. She was always the one asking how he was doing. And Damon simply responded, participated when it was convenient, but never reciprocated the effort. 3 weeks ago, Jasmine had made a decision. She decided to stop reaching out first. She wanted to see if Damon would notice her silence. She wanted to see if their friendship mattered enough to him that he would make an effort when she stopped making all the effort. It was not a game or manipulation. It was a test of reality. She needed to know if their friendship was actually mutual, or if she had just been conveniently available, and Damon had gotten used to her always being there. The first few days had been hard. Jasmine kept picking up her phone to text Damon, then putting it back down. She wanted to share things with him, to tell him about her day, to hear his voice. But she forced herself to wait. And as the days turned into weeks, something became painfully clear. Damon had not reached out once. Not a single text. Not a single call. Not even a casual message asking how she was doing. What Jasmine did not know was that Damon was completely aware of her silence. He had noticed the moment she stopped texting. He noticed that she was not calling anymore. not sharing memes, not asking about his day. He looked at his phone multiple times a day, expecting to see her name on his screen, and feeling a strange emptiness when it was not there. He missed her. He wondered what she was doing. He worried that something might be wrong, but his pride would not let him reach out. Damon had convinced himself that Jasmine was the one who had changed, that she had pulled away without reason, that if she wanted to talk to him, she would reach out like she always did. He told himself that he did not need to chase people, that as Jasmine cared about their friendship, she would not play games by going silent. But underneath all that pride and defensiveness, Damon knew the truth. He knew that Jasmine had always been the one making an effort. He knew he had been taking her for granted. He knew that her silence was not about playing games, but about finally stopping her one-sided effort to see if he would step up. But acknowledging that truth meant acknowledging that he had been a bad friend. It meant admitting that he had been selfish and lazy. It meant facing the uncomfortable reality that if their friendship ended, it would be his fault for not valuing it properly. And Damon's pride could not handle that. So instead of reaching out, instead of apologizing, instead of showing Jasmine that he noticed and cared, he did nothing. He told himself he was waiting for her to come back, but really, he was just too proud to admit he had been wrong. After 3 weeks, Jasmine was heartbroken, but also clear-eyed about what the silence meant. If Damon could go 3 weeks without talking to his supposed best friend of 15 years and never once reach out to check on her, then their friendship was not what she thought it was. She had been investing in a one-sided relationship, and Damon had been comfortable letting her do all the work, as long as it did not require anything from him. Jasmine decided to send one final message. She wrote, "I have not heard from you in 3 weeks. I stopped reaching out to see if you would notice, if you would care enough to check on me for once, instead of waiting for me to always come to you. Your silence has told me everything I need to know. I have spent 15 years being your best friend, and you have spent 15 years letting me do all the work. I love you, but I cannot keep being the only one who tries. I hope you find friendships where both people show up, because I deserve that too. Take care of yourself." When Damon received the message, he felt panic flood his chest. He immediately wanted to call her, to explain, to defend himself. But even in that moment, his first instinct was not to apologize, but to justify why he had not reached out, to blame her for going silent first, to protect his ego. And that instinct showed him something about himself he did not want to see. That even now, even faced with losing his best friend, his pride was more important to him than the relationship. Damon did eventually respond, but not with the humility and acknowledgement that the situation required. He wrote back something defensive. "I did not reach out because you stopped talking to me first. I figured you needed space or were busy. I did not know I was supposed to chase you." If you had a problem, you should have just said something instead of going silent and making this into a test. Jasmine read his response and felt the final piece of their friendship crumble. Even now, Damon could not take responsibility. He was aware that she had pulled away. He was aware that she had stopped making an effort. He had noticed everything. But instead of seeing it as a sign that he needed to step up, he saw it as her fault for not continuing to do all the emotional labor. His response confirmed that he valued his pride more than he valued her. Jasmine did not respond to his message. She realized that some people will notice your absence, will feel it, will even miss you, but they will let pride or ego or fear keep them from doing anything about it. And those people are showing you exactly how much you matter to them. If someone can watch you walk away and refuse to follow because reaching out first would require them to be vulnerable or admit fault, then they have made their choice. Their awareness changes nothing if it does not lead to action. 6 months later, Damon was scrolling through social media and saw photos of Jasmine at a gathering with mutual friends. She looked happy, healthy, surrounded by people who clearly valued her. Damon felt a deep ache of loss. He missed her every single day. He wanted to reach out, to apologize properly, to tell her she had been right about everything. But 6 months felt too long. The window for easy reconciliation had closed. And Damon knew that his pride had cost him one of the most important relationships of his life.